Now then, I'm back with what's going to be a series of more videos from the latest trip on which we have embarked. The key word being we, because I'm being accompanied by
Hello.
Dad. For this one we're in Canada, actually, a dream country of Dad's. How's it been?
Fantastic. We're in Canada.
We're starting in Halifax, which is here by the sea. We've rented a car and basically we're going to drive across a bit of it and then just see what happens basically. It's one of those things that you don't really see that often. When you come across it, it's like, why haven't everywhere got one of them? Way better than a bench, this. So first impressions, what do you reckon?
Oh, it's amazing. So quiet and clean. Everyone's friendly, apart from that bloke in the thing this morning who was a bit abusive to the staff.
Bit of a knob.
Yeah. It's just a fantastic view.
So we are in Halifax in Nova Scotia. It's the furthest eastern part basically. In fact, with the size of Canada, I don't know if you know this, we're actually currently closer to Dublin in Ireland than we are to British Columbia, the other side of Canada.
Oh, really?
Despite the long flight, not even halfway across Canada from, well, halfway towards the other end of Canada. That's how massive it is. So this over here is the Atlantic Ocean. And another fun fact, in Nova Scotia, it's impossible to be more than 40 miles away from the sea at any point in Nova Scotia. That's how much water they've got. What's your fact?
You can fit Britain into Canada 41 times.
And it's only got half the population of Britain, so that's how much space they've got, and that's probably why it's so quiet.
It probably is.
There's just no one anywhere.
We're having a bit of a wander around seafront, and then we're going to go to the Citadel and watch the old Highland Regiment perform their daily tasks.
Yeah, basically see where the city came from. More fun facts about Halifax. Right. You know, it's this is what I've got to put up with for the next while and next many hundreds of miles. What I was going to say, another fun fact about Halifax is it's got more pubs per capita than anywhere else in Canada.
Has it really?
It has.
You know, Newark used to have that same title.
Did it?
Yeah.
Until everyone got too pissed and got unemployed, they went to the job centre instead.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. What have we got here?
So this is the boarding point for the Canadian.
Fucking hell. Should we try that again?
This is the boarding point for the Canadian troops setting off to Europe to fight in the First World War. Can you imagine leaving this beautiful paradise to go to the hell of the sludge and disease of the
Cold France.
of the trenches? This is like 6 pints. Straight. Kind of kebab me out, this would be 6 pints.
Literally the wobbliest bridge in the world. This is awful. Basically Halifax, because it's so far east, it is a dead important port for the Atlantic. So it's basically GY of the North Americas.
Before they closed GY down.
Before they closed GY down, yeah. It also means that their entire industry nowadays is probably seafood, which is great, seeing as seafood is without a doubt our most hated food. As well planned on it. So everywhere you go there's lobster on sale. Lobster for breakfast, crab sandwiches, chowder, clams, pan fried shrimp, loads of fishy bollocks basically. Go on then, get in the big chair.
Might need a reach.
Do you reckon that's Canada's response to King Kong?
I mean, who was the first person to look at a lobster and think, bet that tastes nice?
Let me just snap this shell open and find out what's inside.
Yeah.
It's not appetizing, is it? I think I know seafood is. The thing is, we don't live underwater, do we? We can't just leave it all where it is.
Then again, if they didn't eat it, maybe they'd be overrun by it. Maybe there has to be an international lobster cull or something like that.
Maybe. Maybe that's what's happening over there in that building. One's got out.
Yeah. But the Siege of Mafeking, Baden Powell, I believe was commander or something like that, and he found that none of the young men, really new recruits, and really knew what they was doing around the country. So after the war, he came up with the idea of forming the scout movement, the Boy Scouts, so that young men could learn all the survival techniques and basic training that's needed for military service.
Can you see where I get it from now?
There was that demand that when the Boers had surrounded Mafeking, he came up with the idea of making scarecrows to go around this like encampment to make it look like there was more troops than there was, because if the Boers would have stormed it, we would have lost. And therefore no scouts, ever.
How about that? Right, so this is the Halifax Citadel. There's always been one here since the town was founded in 1749, although it's changed a lot in between. It's the 4th version, so it's pretty much the same citadel, as much as Trigger's broom is the same broom with Fools and Horses. But it's never been under attack at any point because it is so unattackable because of where it is. It was built by the British every time, and we've pretty much just lined the whole thing with cannons. It's on top of a big hill over the whole harbour, which is an important spot in Canada anyway, because they only access to Canada from the sea, from the European side anyway. So no one really dared attack it. So even though it was about 260 years ago, 270 years ago, whatever, we don't actually know if it's any good or not, because no one ever tried to get in. So if you take away all these more recent buildings, you've pretty much got the ideal vantage point on this hill over the whole harbour. So you just point these fat guns at them and shoot there. Easy. And yeah, this whole fort thing is kind of the entire reason Halifax is important. Nova Scotia is of course Latin for New Scotland, which is why you'll still see loads of Union flags flying everywhere, all over this bit in Canada. There's one over there. And also the Scottish link is the reason everyone wears kilts, or well, at least white tartan is still quite a, what's the word? What? Prevalent thing around here. Thanks. What an absolute weapon. Should have written that. Should have got an upgrade. Anyway, what's the POA?
We're back to the yard now, make sure the meter won't run out.
The steed.
Then we're going to try and find a Walmart to get some provisions. And then we're off to try and find the Cabot Trail, which is one of the world's 10 most scenic drives according to YouTube.
And it's only about 3,000 miles away. It's not bad, but it's not quite the Umber Bridge, is it? Can't see how there's a fence in the way.
It's magic. Pure sorcery. This place here is exactly halfway between the equator and the North Pole.
So KFC is the middle point then?
Yeah.
That's the marker. What on earth is that? Look at the size of his claws. We're officially stocked up on provisions. We've got a map out and we're en route. This is where we're off. So this is Nova Scotia. We started here in Halifax. We flew in there yesterday, spent last night and this morning there, and now we're driving up here, all the way into what's called Crampton Island, and then all the way up here to about there. And this whole thing is the Cabot Trail, and there's loads of green stuff in that over there, so we're going to go have a look. It's about 300 miles, it's all the way across Nova Scotia basically, so you're going to be doing a lot of mileage, but I suppose with a country this size you've kind of got to, so yeah, we out.
We've only got that much further to go until we're at the Cabot Trail. I'm going to take the Cabot Trail and we're going to go clockwise up here, and we're going to go and see that whale, that one in particular that's there. Look, there's a picture of it. It's obviously a famous whale, so we're going to have a look.
Tomorrow afternoon.
Splendid.
And that just... Okay, there's this pass of height.
So as we got into the national park, which is at the tip of the Cabot Trail, we were given a map in case the first 800 maps we've got aren't enough.
You never have enough maps.
You can never have enough maps, so we've got just one more, on which it revealed a walking trail, which means I've managed to coax my dad into some vigorous exercise, and we're off on a wander. A dramatic headland overlooking the rugged Gulf Coast. Whales, eagles, moose and bears. If we see any of them, I'm gonna die from excitement, and probably ride one and then actually die properly. Yeah, maybe not the whale. It might be raining a bit, but fuck 'em. We're from England, we're made for it. We were also given a leaflet about being safe around wild animals. For black bears it says, if you see a bear, do not look directly at the bear. If a bear approaches you, get bear spray ready.
Bear spray?
Yep. Make yourself large, make noise, throw rocks. Stand up to the bear. If a bear approaches within 7 meters, use bear spray. I feel like it might be slightly under-equipped.
Yeah. Fucking look at that.
There is a school bus. The thing is, they've got a bench here so you can sit and look at this marvellous view. Except for the fact that, well, this is the bench and this fat tree is right in front of it. So if you sit here, this is your view. The Cabot Trail, ladies and gentlemen. We're heading back, bearless, coyote-less, moose-less, but then again also bear sprayless actually. Maybe it was a good thing. Did see a sparrow though, and a squirrel as well. So a squirrel, wildlife 1 was nil. But we did get a pretty mint view of the Cabot Trail, so I guess all is not lost. Anyway, onwards. World's best driving road is under construction. I suppose at this pace though you can actually appreciate what you're driving past. I think a better type of road like this would be top 10 passengering roads, wouldn't it? You can't actually drive and look at stuff because you'll just crash and die. Do you reckon they're building? Do you reckon they're building more bears? I've noticed how few they've actually got in Canada. They've told everyone in the world they've got tons of bears and actually haven't got any, so they're like shit.
Like Loch Ness, like Citadel. If they issued a map of Loch Ness there's signs up saying, warning, if you meet the Loch Ness Monster, do not try and feed it. Walk away calmly, sort of a thing. Then more people would believe that the Loch Ness Monster's there, wouldn't they? And then you got it would be triumph for marketing, just like Mr. Skyline walk with bears, whales, eagles, coyotes and moose, none of which, not even a turd, was seeable.
So basically Dad thinks bears are the Loch Ness Monster of Canada.
I think they are.
We decided that because of the yomp we went on, 1 second, that we'd just come straight to where we're staying tonight rather than going to Pleasant Bay. So this is the abode for the evening. Step in here, look at the absolute pad. Bed 1, bed 2. Even got a little cooker thing.
It's alright, isn't it?
It looks like someone's grabbed a caravan by its cheeks and just pulled them out. Airbnb, you've done us proud. So how's your first full day been in Canada?
Fantastic. Long drive, but well worth it.
Yeah, I reckon it's about bedtime, innit? Tomorrow's more of the same. Driving around, more Cabot Trail, all the green stuff, more Canada-y stuff. More of that. But anyway, I'm off to bed in tonight's house. See you in a bit.